Today, I want to speak specifically to women and teach you how to marry for the future, not for the now. I'm SAGENEL. Welcome to SAGENEL TV. You're going to love this content, so do well already to like the video, subscribe, and share because it's going to be the video that you needed, most important video you needed to see today on the internet. Many times, some women that are in the space of dating and they currently have suitors around them who care for them and want to take things further, specifically towards marriage, seem a bit confused on what to look out for. So they have two men, for instance, a girl has two men and she's wondering, who should I marry? I am vibing with this one. And if you're listening to this maybe in 2015, 2050, vibing in this generation means you are feeling this person. This person brings out the in you, meaning this person makes you feel good, you have butterflies and whatnot. But on the other hand, there's this other person is a good guy, but it just doesn't look like you are moving, you have that sort of connection with this guy. You like him as a person, you will like him for your sister, but you're not sure if he's the one for you. Whereas this guy that you seem to be very sexually attracted to moves all your organs and everything, your body is moving once you see him. You both always want to be together in a tight corner anytime you have the chance to. Seem to be lacking in some things, and it seems like you are managing this guy. Does this sound like you? Yes, this sounds like you, and this is so many other people's situation, which is why I am choosing to do this video. When you are choosing to get married, their wife to be, it is important that you marry for the future, not for the now. You must marry a man who is family oriented, who is kind, who is good, who is going to become a good parent. And you can already know the traits of a good parent from a single person. Who is great with his finance. And when I mean great with his finance, I don't mean has all the money, but you can say this person is prudent and this person has the wisdom to invest and save. Even if you do not feel a certain way with this person, it is important that if you have examined some of these things, and you can check out my other videos where I've done a more robust list on what to look out for when you are looking for and looking to receive a life partner, you're looking to get married. You must consider that the things that make marriage last are some of these things. The list is, there are other things in the list as well, are some of these things that I have listed here. And things like feelings can come along the way as long as this person, to a large extent, looks good. And when I mean looks good, maybe I need to do another video addressing that. It's not looks good in the way that many people address looking good. Some of these things, like I said, I've spoken about it in previous videos. Please, if this is the first time you're watching me, go back to other videos to see some of the layers and foundations, some of the foundations I've laid for these things. But at the end of the day, you see that a man who may seem to look good to maybe 100 women compared to a man who may seem to look good to just 2% out of 80% of the women that are choosing the other man may not have the characteristics to be a husband or be a father or hold a family together. So women, we've got to stop calculating from the now. We have got to stop making decisions from the now. We have got to stop estimating the future from the now. It's just like a person, I want to believe, at least, I want to believe maybe 60% of people watching this video have had what I call a financial journey. Climbing wherever it is you are at the ladder now, you've had some sort of financial journey towards where you currently are. At least I have. And in a financial journey, if you're in a financial journey and you're not always getting baited with money, you've always known money from childhood. Um, anyways, I'm trying to make sure that we don't miss the point. But anyways, if you've been in a financial journey, because you can even have known money from childhood, but got into some sort of financial challenge or experienced some sort of financial challenge, maybe with your upbringing, parents, or whatnot. But the point is, on a financial journey, one of the things that you are taught and one of the things that you have to do, even if they're not teach you, you have to do in your finance is that you always have to learn how to save and invest for tomorrow, no matter how tempting today's offer looks. I'll take that again. On the journey to financial freedom, one of the things that you need to learn, that is just a general principle, I don't even think you need to be poor and broke to know this, is that you always have to save and invest in the now, despite what temptations may be bringing themselves to you, that you can use your money on and forget about tomorrow. Your future will take care of itself. You know that that's not the way to financial freedom necessarily, if you want to attain certain form of freedom. So you deny yourself some things in the now for the things that you want in the future. Or maybe you're a student, you've ever been a student, or ever taken a certification course. You know that to pass your exam and become certified or become a graduate, you've got to take in, or you've got to go through some sort of I'm looking for the exact word now, but you've got to go through some sort of sacrifices, and you've got to be able to learn how to regulate your thirsts and your appetites for what it is that you think you want to do now. Maybe you want to watch a movie. I'm talking about appetite for eating. I mean, maybe you feel like watching a movie, or you feel like going out, or even you feel like sleeping. Some people, they've read for exams even when they are not feeling fine. But because of the future, because of what it is that they saw ahead of them, they had to manage through it to be able to attain that goal. I'm saying this because, and I've taken out time to explain this, because at the end of the day, marriage is a long-term thing. And I've done interviews with various kinds of women, and you always see that no matter where they start from, for people who got into marriage right and are getting it right, there is always a visible growing difference between where they were to where they currently are and where they are still going to, even in their appearance. So sometimes it's not about how good a person is looking. Don't get it wrong. You can have a good-looking person with all of the traits. I mean, an extremely good-looking person in what the world will rate 8/10 or whatnot. But even if that is not the case, it is better to have a person who is good-looking in the heart and maybe walks into a room and people may not notice that person so much, but the person is everything to you, than a person who is everything to the world in how they look, in how they appeal to the eyes of the people, but doesn't rate you, doesn't care for you, and is not just willing to make marriage work. And vice versa, because women are also becoming interesting in this day and age. It's not just a man's thing. But of course, I cater especially for women, so which is why my conversation is directed in that arena. So I want you to think about what I've shared and ask me questions or things that you want solved in this arena of marrying for the future. You shouldn't marry for how you feel now. You shouldn't marry for how a person is even making you feel in this day, in this right now. You should marry for what the potential could be, and you should marry for what's the long-term investment in that relationship and marriage is going to eventually be. And before I close out, when I say what the potential could be, please don't get it wrong. I'm not saying just go and marry a person who has not worked on themselves, doesn't care, is just living anyhow. That's not what I'm saying. And if you've been following me, you will know that that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that at the end of the day, you need a partner, just like a partner for business. You need a partner who doesn't give up, who is going to be there for the long haul, who is going to be committed in sickness and in health. You know, those are the things that you need. And I wrap up with this. There was hearing a story recently that a man wasn't feeling fine. I think something happened with his brain and the wife disappeared. But there was once upon a time, one angle I think I uniquely always look at disastrous relationship and love stories from when all comes to an end and both partners can no longer cope with each other, is that but there was once a time when it seemed as though you both could not leave each other. You could not leave each other alone. It was either you were with each other or nothing. It was either you were going to love upon each other, be with each other, call each other, or nothing. So what happened between the I can never live without you, I can never breathe without you? Some people go as much as singing love songs and whatnot. What happened from that part to the I cannot stand you? The thinking. Somebody in that relationship wasn't thinking for the future. Both people were not thinking for the future. They were only thinking for the now. And when you don't fuel your car for a long distance journey, it's going to stop on the road with the level of fuel that you have fueled it for the time. So you think, oh no, don't worry, there's fuel. I can see the fuel gauge is okay. Let me just quickly rush out. Rushing out and driving your beautiful car is not as important as fueling that beautiful car for the long journey that it can take you for. You say, let me rush up because my car is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Don't worry. Unfortunately, beauty and color of a car is not what keeps a car or what will get a car to its destination. No, it's not. But the engine, the fuel, and the internal operating system of the car and how well it is prepared for long distance journeys. So I want you to contemplate on what you've heard. I want you to share this with other sisters as well. I want you to share your concerns in the comments section. Share your experience as well. Send me questions. I do one-on-one counseling. I help women meet and marry their husbands. Let's talk about it. What roadblock are you having? What difficulties are you having in this space of your life regarding marrying for the now and marrying for the future? And do you see yourself in such junction? Please email me. Let's talk further. I'm SAGENEL. Do well to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I will see you in the next video.